Hi everyone, today we are going to be colouring this pomegranate. Now I've had a look at some pictures. I've never bought a pomegranate. I've eaten it, the seeds, in salads and things that I've bought when I was out and about, but I've never bought one. Now each of these little tiny seeds is a beautiful shining sort of like bead. So I'm trying to think about the best way to try and do that. What I'm going to do, I'm just looking for the right colour. I think I'm going to do a base of a pink, and then I'm going to go over parts of it in darker or a red. Actually madder is quite nice, might work. Yeah, we'll grab the madder. This is we're using Faber Castell Polychromos today. I'm going to use the madder. What I'm going to do is go all the way over them really lightly with the madder. Now I know we want them to glisten and sparkle, but we can, hopefully it will still work. We've always got our friend the white gel pen if we think that's going to work better. So we'll see how it all pans out. I sometimes find just having a little bit of colour behind where you're going to make it shine can make a big difference. So what I'm going to do for each little one is make it darker at the bottom. Can you see? I can't, can I zoom in anymore? No, sorry, you're just going to have to listen and hope that it works. So darker at the bottom, then lighter towards the top, and just leave a little bit with no extra colour than what we've put on there already. And I'm just going to work through each one doing that. This colour I think is just about right. Although I know that each of these has a little black seed inside it, so they do sometimes have a black mark. But I think I'm not going to do that. These are really small, so we'll probably just ignore that. I'm just leaving the white at the top as if the light's coming down from the top. Now I don't necessarily think that's the best place for it. I think it might have been better had it been in the middle or to one side slightly, but because they're so small, for me this is the easiest way to do it. And I just want to keep it easy for me and for you. I think we can, it looks quite effective. They look quite three-dimensional and shiny, even though it's not quite how I want it to be. So we're just going to move across to the other section. It's just the same thing for each of them. So yeah, pomegranate, the seeds are so sharp, sour. I rather like it in a salad. It can take away some of the sweetness. I find I don't eat sugar, like added sugar. I eat fruit, sugar in fruit and veggies and things like that. But I don't add it to things. I don't eat puddings or things like that. When I have chocolate, I have 100%. So these don't seem that sour. And I rather like something sour in, say, a salad, because if it's got grated carrot, sweet corn peppers, tomatoes, things like that in it, I find them quite sweet. So it's rather nice to have something to contrast against that sweet. My children think I'm bonkers. They go, "Mum, that's not sweet. What are you on?" And I'm like, well, just not used to having sweet things. A reason for it, you might be wondering, is because I've got a family history of diabetes. I decided that it would be wise to cut down my sugar, but also that's type 2 diabetes, and also when I have sugar I cannot stop eating it. I'm looking at my screen trying to work out what colour to do the skin part. I think I'm going to use the same. It's actually slightly redder, less pink, so I'm not going to use the same colour. I'm going to grab something else. I'm going to try this and see if it works. The pale geranium lake. But also, yes, when I have sugar, I'm like an addict. I just start eating loads and loads and loads. I was getting to a point where I was having 3 or 4 chocolate bars a day. I was, you know, a good few stone overweight, and things like that, and it just wasn't good. So I just gave it all up, and now I am a much healthier weight and happy with how I'm doing. Now this part here is like, it's almost like the pith that you get on a citrus fruit, and I'm trying to work out what to do with it. This bit is the sort of dead flower, so it's sort of quite brown, but it's sort of red underneath. So what I'm going to do is do a bit of the red here, just a sort of hint, and then I'm going to get a brown. I think might look good for dead. It's nice, isn't it? Dead brown. Brown ochre. Oh dear. And do these. Yeah, so if I have sugar, it just's no good. I feel quite rude at times though if I'm eating out and people want puddings, or if people have made puddings and I don't eat them. I feel like they feel guilty that they're eating it, like I'm judging them, but I'm not. It's just not for me. Right, the fleshy bit, I think, seems to be stained with pink around the edge and then get whiter towards the middle. I'm just going to look at a few more pictures. As I say, I've never had one. I've never cut one open, so I don't really know what to expect. So I think, yeah, I think we'd get a cream, no, an ivory, sorry, for some of it, and we'll mix it in with a little bit of pink. Do I use one of the pinks? It's quite dark, so I think I'm going to go back to my pale Geranium Lake. Excuse me, I've just had an enormous piece of 100% chocolate, and I was on the telephone to my mum, and I thought I'll just sneakily grab a bit of chocolate while I'm on the phone, and it was so big I couldn't speak. I was so greedy. But anyway, so can you see how I've got a sort of hint of pink here? And then we'll get our ivory and just use that on all of the rest. It doesn't really blend in to other colours. It's quite difficult. Polychromos aren't the most blendy pencils. You have to sort of layer them up, but I think that's going to work okay on this one. Just go in between all the dots and bits, and I think we'll be done. There we go. Those are quite straightforward in the end. It's just a case of knowing which colours to pick, which I found a little bit tricky. So I'm trying to put it towards the middle for you. It's quite out of proportion with this aubergine, isn't it? I'm pretty sure these are usually quite big, but anyway, there we go. So that's that. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and happy colouring.